Hello, I'm here today with Richard Brady, a colorectal surgeon and the owner of a social media consultancy business, researchactive.com. And today we're here to talk about the influence healthcare professionals can have within the social media. And in April of this year, Richard started a social media hashtag colorectal surgery, which now has over 2,000 unique healthcare professional authors, over 55 million impressions, and is spread across over 50 countries in the world. So Richard, how do you see social media impacting the way you practice?
So on a most basic level, Jimmy, communication with social media is immediate, it's free, it's open, and it really gives you a global perspective about the new developments in our specialty. It's allowed us to post interesting multimedia content with the news and information that we want to put out, and it also allows me as a practitioner to learn about innovations almost instantly, no matter where they occur on this planet. It also now supplements the whole conference environment, whereby users can post and question what the speakers say, but also post questions to the speaker directly, and therefore has given a whole new environment in which to engage within a conference setting.
And what is it that causes you to post onto social media? Is it when you're at work, or do you sort of think about those things as you go out through the day and when you get home?
So firstly, I post things that are interesting to me. So primarily, if I'm involved in them, I tend to post events that I'm attending, or things that I'm planning, or papers that I've published. But also within my specialty, if there are particular research studies that have been published, or new innovations, or interesting videos, I will post links to them, partially as a reminder for me, because it's on my timeline and I can access it at any point, but also I do think that some of that content might be useful to people who are studying the specialty or who are interested in learning more about the innovations that are occurring. I also use social media to interact or comment on other people's achievements or papers, and also ask questions of authors and those who have innovations about the particular techniques that they're using.
That's excellent. So you talked about interacting with your peers there. So let's talk a little bit about hashtag colorectal surgery. What was the original heart and vision behind starting that movement?
When we started hashtag colorectal surgery, it was clear that there were a number of very highly involved or active users on social media. But we knew that the environment would be much more enriched by gathering or recruiting further comment and resource from other surgeons on this planet. So the core group of people who were highly active at that point decided to create the hashtag as an online place, an online signpost for other surgeons to find easily. Firstly, in order to find other surgeons to communicate with, but primarily in order to find content that would be of interest to them. So hashtag colorectal surgery really has become a key moment of evolution in the specialty. It has allowed content to be disseminated quickly, and if you put hashtag colorectal surgery within your posting, then other surgeons can learn from your experience as well. That has gained a lot of popularity and loyalty over the last few months.
Absolutely. As I mentioned, it's now received over 55 million impressions. But at the very beginning, what was it that helped you get it moving and gain traction?
Well, I think just keeping in there, so just keeping a constant positive move forward with a group of people who are like-minded, or are also keen to disseminate news on social media. And I would advise this to anyone else who was setting up such a hashtag, that they would get a group of people who would help them, because a community of one is a lonely place. In the early days, we continued to post positive news. Over time, that recruited further people, and we encouraged further recruitment by not only speaking about this at conferences across the globe. This year alone, I've spoken conferences in Tokyo and Milan, and next year I'll be speaking in America and mainland Europe again about the message of hashtag colorectal surgery. But we've also invested in producing multimedia campaigns, small short videos which explain the concept of social media and also hashtag colorectal surgery to others, and we've managed to produce that and disseminate it widely. We also recruited assistants from the larger journals and societies in medicine and surgery, who have been very, very supportive in our hashtag campaign, and they also have disseminated that news to their membership.
That's great. And so what do you see for the future of the hashtag campaign?
Well, I would like to further recruit more surgeons, and one of the issues that struck me most was when I traveled to different countries, how different the engagement levels are in social media, where they are on the social media evolution curve as such. Particularly in Asia, I think there's a lot more room to grow in terms of their interaction, and we in the West, in terms of colorectal surgery, have so much more to learn and interact with them in relation to their experience, which is in some ways completely different to our experience. So I would like to see the campaign not only gather further traction in its host countries, which currently seem to be in the US, the UK and Spain, but also to spread across Europe and further abroad. I would like it to start to be used in resource-poor countries, because I think that's partially where its advantages are perhaps the most acute. You are able to interact with world experts for free instantly. So if you have a challenging case in a resource-poor country, there's an amazing opportunity there to gain knowledge and also to watch videos about techniques and see the latest research for free. And those opportunities have never really existed before in human evolution, never mind our own specialty. Over time, we will be producing more and more multimedia videos, we'll be recruiting more people, and hopefully we'll be producing more and more insights and research, partially with some of the assistance that we gain from companies like your own, about deep delving into the insights and interactions between members and trying to understand more about what makes people tick online, what makes people loyal to a social media platform, and how they use it themselves professionally.
And as a surgeon, what do you think the future holds for healthcare professionals on social media?
I don't think this is a genie that can go back in the bottle at this stage. I think there are too many of us who have already realized the amazing opportunities and options that are available to us for knowledge gathering. Essentially, all of us work on how much we know and how we can use that information effectively in our practice, and social media just allows us so much more access to a broader scheme and broader opportunity of knowledge that I don't think those people will stop using it. I would see more membership of social media as people become more relaxed about the potential for any dangers associated with social media, and I can see more associations and societies investing heavily in social media in order to more efficiently and effectively get their message out. So I see a network of knowledge being created across the globe, hopefully in my specialty, to make sure that this time delay from innovation to practice is much reduced, that we're able to get more people involved in international and multi-boundary research, and that we can have active and open discussions about new innovations in order to try and really bring the best treatments to our patients, but also engender a community amongst us surgeons about what we do when we're worried about things, where we go when we need to find out new knowledge.
That's excellent. And is there anything you think we should be wary of in terms of social media, perhaps to do with efficacy or safety?
So I think you just have to be full of common sense when you're interacting with social media, and that your professional norms do not disappear just because you're discussing about issues online. So be respectful, don't engage in online aggressive debates, but put your point over generally and carefully. Be careful about criticism online. It never really translates very effectively, but certainly if there is an evidence base, or you're worried about something that's been posted online, you should actually raise the issue. I think you shouldn't ever go across the boundaries of confidentiality. I think that if you start to mention individual cases of patients or posting images, you are open to problems. If patients themselves disagree with the posting of that content, or even for baseline decency, there are images that probably shouldn't be broadcast on open social media channels, which in a specialty like mine is quite acute and specific. I guess the other things are to make sure that you don't criticize your employers, but also make sure that you learn and read the reams of guidance that are out there from almost every association, and keep to that guidance in relation to your interactions. The opportunities that are provided by social media are so much more outweigh the potential risks that I've really taken to it as a platform for interaction. But I understand that the risks are something that really does preoccupy people who have not really experienced social media before. I would like to just recommend it to them, but also reassure them that there are millions and millions of people involved in this platform, and if you just keep calm and keep a little bit of common sense, often you will not go wrong.
And what top tips would you give to somebody who was perhaps trying to create their own discussion around their specialism?
So I would say go ahead, follow the examples that have been very successful. The hashtag plastic surgery has also been a marvelously accessible and successful story. I would register your hashtag primarily so that it is a brand, that you can talk about it as a brand and that it becomes a message. I would get a group of people who are similarly interested in putting a message out, and I would keep at it. So it's going to take time to build a follower base. It won't happen overnight. Don't be despondent about lurkers. Around about 95% of people will not interact with any particular posting that you have. But if you keep at it, you will build a loyal base who will become relaxed and will want to interact on a daily basis with your postings. And a community will develop. I think it's almost like a critical mass. Once you get a certain number of people who are interested and enthusiastic about the platform, that will take on its own life and become its own organism.
Great. Richard, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. It was good to meet you.
Thanks.